So let me see how that goes. Sometimes it'll be like 3, sometimes it'll be like 8 people. You never fucking know.
Yeah.
How you been, Brett?
Good,
Oh,
man.
yeah. So far so good, man. So I mean, you probably don't know this, but the last couple of years, I kind of had like a rough couple of years in a lot of different ways. I'm probably not gonna put this in the podcast, but I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, relationship wise, financially, my business wasn't even doing that good. But I think it all stems with your mind state, right? So you have a bad breakup, and yeah, you could say, "Oh, man, the fuck up," and all this shit. But at the end of the day, like that's part of life. It's not that simple. So
Negative energy follows that.
yeah. So last few Mother's Days and my mom's birthdays, I haven't been able to really like do anything like really nice. But I'm starting to do better now. I'm like back on my feet. So
yeah.
I was
How's your
able
dog
to.
been? You ended up getting everything done?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's good now. He's over there playing with my other dog. I actually took a dog off of my friend's hands that he just wasn't. The liver situation just wasn't good. But he's also responsible enough to admit it and want to find him like a better home. So he's with me now. So if they're gonna be permanent, I'm not 100% sure yet. But so far so good. So far he's getting along well. Kane, go to bed. Bishop, come here. Kane, go to bed. Bishop, come here. They playing a little too rough. Come on. Kane, go to bed. Bishop.
How you feeling right now with your prep?
So far so good. So far so good. This is by far the leanest I've been this far out. And honestly, it's like for me, it doesn't feel that hard like right now. It's like the easiest I've gotten this lean and the leanest I've been by far. This is how I looked. Not even this is my weight like 5-6 weeks out last year. But the look is a lot bigger because you have more muscle and you're leaner. So yeah. I mean the thing about bodybuilding is that prep isn't about prep. Like we think prep is the prep, but off season is the prep, right? Your prep is all based off your off season. There's nothing you can do in prep.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can really do in prep to bring a better look, besides maybe drying out at the end or something. But the truth is, how your off season goes is how your prep goes. So I was really on point with the off season, and I put myself in a situation where I didn't let myself put on too much body fat, which is important. Which is important for me. Some people, you're the type that you could put on body fat, get soft, and then you get lean like so fast.
Yeah.
But everybody
I am worried I didn't put on enough size this year right now, so we'll see obviously when the prep comes what happens.
But you know what the truth is, man? Like you're somebody who's on point, right? Am I wrong in thinking that?
No.
Like you're on point pretty much all year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that everybody's body is gonna put on tissue at a certain rate, and I think it's hard for people to understand that when their genetics are different. You know how people say, "Oh, I don't think men's physique or classic physique guys train that hard," right? Now that could be true for some of them because some bodybuilders don't train that hard. Like it's just a rule of, But the truth is, a lot of people assume that, well, if you're not 300 pounds, you're not doing everything in your power to be 300 pounds. And that's not true. Some people's body either can't get there or will take 20 years to get there, right? So similar to me, I think we're similar in that we're not the kind that's going to put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle. It's just not going to happen, and it's not for lack of trying. I've pushed the drugs. I've pushed the food. I've pushed all of that. And it's just that I can get fat, even if it's clean food, but I'm not going to pull a Joe and add 20 pounds all of a sudden. It's just not going to happen,
Yeah.
So, but that makes it tough because Because you're sitting there like, damn, like these motherfuckers coming out of nowhere, gaining all this muscle.
Yeah,
While
I'm like, how does Joe do
oh.
that?
But then you almost start thinking to yourself, like, what can I do to improve that? And you try it all, and you come to terms with like, you know what? My body puts on like 5 pounds of tissue a year in a good year, and it is what it is. It's just gonna be a long. Like we're also taller than a lot of guys who do that, but
Yeah,
it is genetic because we could say Samson and Andrew have done it and they're tall, So it's one of those things. As long as you're doing everything you need to do, the rest isn't really up to you. You can't make it. Oh, you mind turning your camera sideways, by the way?
yes, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. The rest is out of your control, so it's one of those things.
Fix my phone real quick, so
Oh yeah,
then
there
we
you
can
go.
flip to. There we go.
Yeah, so that's sometimes a hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. It's just part of life. So you basically gonna have to just keep doing what you're doing year after year after year until this
Literally.
ass and touch you. You're in off season right now.
Yeah, it's gonna come to an end, and then I'm gonna have I go on vacation on the 23rd. We're going to the Virgin Islands. And then I come back from that, and I get some gyno surgery.
Wait, you have gyno? I don't think I've noticed that.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised you haven't.
Yeah, I've never seen it on your body.
Yeah, who was the guy that judged us at the Olympia? He was the head judge. Or not the Olympia, USA. Sorry, not the Olympia. I'm not that cool.
Was it Tyler?
It wasn't Tyler. He has like a salt and pepper hair or salt and pepper beard, something like that. Kind of heavier
Okay.
set guy.
Oh, he judges some of the California shows. No,
He judges mainly like national shows, I think,
Steve?
and like pro shows. It
No,
wasn't Steve
Steve.
Weinberg. It wasn't Tyler Mannion. I want to say his name was like Dan or something. Maybe.
I don't even know who that is. But did he tell you? Did he tell you that? He gave you some critique?
Yeah, because like as soon as we walked off stage from all the heavyweights, he was like backstage telling every single person like, "This is what you need to work on. This is what you need to work on."
That's kind of nice of him.
Yeah,
Like he just did it like without anybody asking.
yeah. He just went backstage and was telling each person as they were walking down the stairs, like, "You do this, you do that," and he told me he's like, "Hey, you just need to control the gyno," and I was
Really?
like, "How do I control that? Just tell it to go away?"
Got it. Well, that's the thing with judges when they give you critique, you gotta decipher it because they're going based off of what they see, but
Yeah,
they're not competitors themselves. So some of the wording they use it's not accurate to your body, but you can kind of read around you kind of read around the
yeah,
book. So yeah, only you know what happens in camp, so you kind of have to decipher it because you would know better. But what they want to see visually is what they tell you.
yeah,
Yeah, and that recovery is like what 4 weeks of.
yeah. 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm gonna be out of work for quite a bit.
Oh, you can't work either.
No, because I can't do like soft
Shit.
tissue work. I can train people. I just can't hand them their weights or rack their weights for them or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Shit. Most people got that. Coley got that recently. No, Jason Coley got that like last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know because I don't even think he was very public about it. Maybe he was. I just didn't see.
I probably maybe I saw like one post, but yeah, he wasn't super public about it. Let me.
Yeah, I'm
I
probably
want to
not going
see.
to be crazy public either about it, honestly.
I want to see now. See Apex, right? Apex, but I want to see because I've never noticed it. It couldn't have, it couldn't have been that bad if I didn't notice it. You know, I think it's very distracting if it's bad, but
Yeah. If you
a
go to
little.
the North Americans, I posted like I was on a balcony of our Airbnb. You can really tell them that especially when I'm doing the most muscular.
Yeah. Is it down?
Down, yeah, down, down, down.
See here, I don't see anything here. Yeah, I don't see
No,
anything.
you can't really tell. Kind of around the our left, my right on that picture. That one on the right.
This one?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you
Oh,
can
okay.
see.
So
And then go
it's
to the
like, huh? Oh, go down.
The next photo, you can really tell.
You
It's like
have the
super.
okay. You have the small pointy looking one, right?
Yeah,
You don't have the titty. That's why it's not noticeable. Because some people it like a huge section like pops out. Yours is like a little surface area, but it pokes out a little bit. Right?
it's enough for them to say something. But
Yeah, yeah. I think
it's
I
something
think
I've
what
wanted done for a while.
yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like you have a really good physique, man, and you probably you probably feel the same way. I'm honestly shocked you haven't turned pro yet. I got to be honest. I think most of us are shocked just because it's not like you're somebody who has the physique but isn't bringing it right. Like with me, somebody says, "Oh, I'm surprised you haven't turned pro." I'm like, "Well, I just haven't bought it. I haven't bought that look that you've seen to stage yet." But you actually have. Like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I'm looking at you and I'm like, "Well, he actually is bringing it every single
Thank you,
time."
man. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I'm really hard on myself about that.
because it can be an annoying journey
Yeah.
if you're not capable. Let's say you have horrible genetics, or you don't have the best shape, and you're coming in peeled, and then you're like, you know what? Yes, I'm outworking them. I'm in better shape, but genetically they're just superior, right? You're genetically superior to them in shape, and you're coming peeled, and you're maxing out the class. You're on the tall side, but you're not so tall that it's like distracting, right? It's like C-Bum when he was a heavyweight, you could be like, okay, well, he's like 6'1", right? But
Yeah.
I mean, 5'11", it's like you don't look small up there is what I'm saying. So when I'm looking, I'm like, they usually give it to like a stockier, I'm sure you've known, like a stockier,
Yep.
denser guy,
Yeah.
but not necessarily better, just different,
Yeah.
So I'm
So
sure that's
I'm gonna have to bring it for the North, or not North America, it's for Texas.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it seems like I think they want you to be a super, which is I think it's unfortunate because bigger isn't always better, man. Like
No.
I don't necessarily think your physique is gonna look better. I could be wrong. It might look fucking way better, but I think your look works, and it's a different look. But that's not always a bad thing. Like it's different in a good way for the right reasons, and I think sometimes that should get rewarded. You
Yeah.
know,
Thank you. How tall
so
is Justin
which one?
Shire?
Oh, not that tall. Maybe 5'8".
Really?
Maybe slightly taller than Nick.
Okay, I thought he was like 5'10", like my height for some reason, just because I know his
No,
first pro show he was like 225.
not even, bro. He wasn't that
I thought he was like
big.
225 at his first pro show.
No, he was lighter than that, bro. He was like,
Oh,
from what I think he said it on the podcast. Well, don't quote me, but I think he was lighter than that, bro. I
okay.
don't think he was because when he turned pro, I'm sure he could correct me, but I think he was like he was nowhere near the cap when he turned pro, heavyweight cap. He
Got
was
it.
he. I don't even think he was 220. I think he was like 212, if that. You know,
Damn.
but with his shape, most people are gonna hold the extra 10 pounds around their waist and still have a small waist, right? Like you could put 10 pounds on his waist and he would still have a small waist.
Yeah.
So that weight isn't being accounted for. That's his arms are just as big as anybody else,
Yep.
right? He got fucking world class calves, so his everywhere else is holding the muscle. He just doesn't have to have any weight accounted for the weight. So that's like he's gonna be 10, 15 pounds off from everybody,
Yeah.
So
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you're doing the USA's?
yes, yeah, that's the plan. But this year, I want to keep going because at this point, this year, I could say confidently that I have enough muscle, and I don't plan to lose the muscle, which I usually tend to do. But uh, yeah, so it's a matter of bringing the look to stage, and for you to do that, you need practice, and you can't
Yeah.
practice that unless you compete. So if I'm doing one show a year, right? What would be the point in that if the issue? if the issue is not bringing up body parts and stuff like that, the issue is bringing a look to stage. So I just need more of that stage experience as far as peaking, if you want to call it that. So I think it'll be
Yeah.
beneficial for me to do more shows. You know, somebody like you don't need to do a bunch of shows because your peaking is just fine. If anything, you're trying to put on tissue. So some people don't need to do a lot of shows. Take your time, put on size. Some people need to do a lot of shows so they could actually bring a look to stage, you know?
Yeah. See, I thought he was 5'10". Like,
No. You never met him? You had to have seen him before
no,
backstage.
I met him and Jasmine at the Olympia. I fanboyed, no
Oh.
big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, Danielle and I love that him and his wife work out together and stuff.
Yeah. That's fine, yeah. He's a good guy, man. Have you been on a podcast with him?
No,
No? Okay. We gotta get him back on. He's really easy to talk to. Like he has a really doesn't take himself too seriously. He has a good sense of humor. You know. You used to watch him on Bro Chat, right? You used to watch it back in the day?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. He's really good sense of humor. I like people like that. But
His
yeah,
quads are massive.
they did. He won his first pro show, which is I feel like people are getting numb to it and they don't realize how crazy that is to win your first pro show. But
Yeah,
people act like it's just like, but I don't care what show it is. It's a pro show, and that takes a lot of
what's he doing? He's doing Detroit or
so he's doing it. He said
no
they
Detroit?
canceled. They canceled Chicago. I think it was he take Tampa. Yeah, Tampa, right?
Tampa.
Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, Tampa. So a lot of people are doing Tampa, right? Because isn't Joe said he's doing Tampa. I'm pretty sure.
Joe, Paul, they're doing Tampa.
Did Stu say he's
They're
doing?
doing Texas and Tampa.
Oh, are they okay? Did Stu say he's doing Tampa? I think so. Where's my phone? Hold up, let me check my phone. I think I invited Stu. 1 second, my phone. Damn phone. I left him with that something. Okay. Yeah, I sent him a link, but I think he's in prep.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, but I think Stu said he's doing Tampa. I mean, this year is just one of the one of those stacked years, bro. It is what it is. Like this is one of those years that there's so much competition, bro. It's like we gotta we gotta show a lot of respect to some of these guys. Like placing top 5 at a pro show nowadays is like, think about it. Crizzo just got like 5th.
Yeah.
Think about what we're saying. Crizzo got 5th at a pro show, and he's been what 8th at the Olympia before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's like this is a different kind of IFBB. This is like
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Just because it just makes things more interesting, more competitive. Like Derek doing 2 shows. Like Derek didn't have to do the Pittsburgh.
No,
It
but
just I want a lot of the guys to just keep doing that. Just jumping out and show after show after show.
for sure, yeah. And I don't think we have to be so delicate about competing. I think there's something to be said about, yes, there's only so many times you can peak. Like
Yeah.
you can't expect to be your best every single show, but that's not necessarily about doing more shows. Think about it, right? You take any great bodybuilder, you take Ronnie. Ronnie only did the Olympia for the most part, right?
Yep.
But he only really brought his best actually twice? Let's say 98, 99.
Yeah.
2003, that wasn't a good peak. He was just big as fuck. But that wasn't like, some people consider it the best, but I just say he was just big. But that's not like a best look, I don't think. So boom, two times out of 15 years of competing. Same with Phil. Phil bought his best 11 and 13, right? So
Yeah.
even though they're doing one show a year, they're not gonna bring their best every. It's impossible. Like your body isn't gonna be the best every time, but that doesn't mean you still can't compete and win, right?
Yep.
So Derek wasn't his best yesterday. He still won, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so it's like, yeah. So I think we don't have to be so sensitive about competing, because you can still compete and continue to at least hold your look and still, place where you're going to place.
They still have
But
the not black backdrop for all the shows, like the because I know everyone was like pushing for black backdrops after the Detroit last year.
yeah, but it was darker. I think they just made it bright. They made it this bright, I think, just for either finals or maybe this last pose down, because it was like, let me look at the color. It was like a little, yeah, it was like this color a little bit. Let me see if I can find one. It wasn't black, but I think as long as it's not distracting, we're happy.
Got it.
Yeah, you see it's like darker, right? It's like that
Okay.
orange. This is distracting because their complexion looks orange, so you don't want to see
Yeah.
orange back there. But yeah, for the most part, it was like pretty. Yeah, it was like a dark background, and I think we just asked for, yeah. This is pretty good. Yeah, we just asked for it to not be flashy and like a color that's distracting, and that's cool enough. We don't. I know Don likes to say we can't do black curtains, but we don't. We don't literally need black curtains. We just need something like mild. Is all. But anyways, I didn't check this out yet actually, so I'm checking this out for the first time. Did you see the guest posing part?
I did not. Who all guest posed? Keon.
It looked like a lot of fucking people. It looked like Samson and Keon for the bodybuilders, and then they had a bunch of classic guys. You had Mike the Badass, Ramon. Who else? I think another classic guy. It was like three of them. Samson looks like Samson. That's how he looks in off season, pretty much for the most part.
Yeah. He's not out of shape.
No, but the person that impresses me the most is Keon. I'm sorry, Keon in the off season even looks like to keep. How do
Nuts.
you even keep those proportions and all? Because okay, me and you have pretty good proportions, right? But in the off season, it doesn't look like that, right?
It
It
is not.
changes.
Yeah, no.
When we diet down, then like, oh shit, I didn't know your waist was that small. What the fuck? But Keon, even off season, he still he still has the same exact proportions.
Yeah, because he's
That's
up like what, 30 pounds?
Yeah, he doesn't get too far off though. Yeah, I think he only gets off like yeah, like 30 pounds. But still, bro, that's an impressive way to hold your weight, even 30 pounds up. Samson, he looked like Samson, and Keon looks like Keon,
Yeah,
which is
that's nuts. His
which
waist
is
is going to be like non-existent at the show.
his waist is smaller than his head, bro. It doesn't even make sense.
I think he's going to be doing this for a while.
Some people disagree. I personally think he can win the Open, Mr. Olympia.
I think he could win the Open.
I think
I
people.
mean,
Uh-huh.
he's just chilling in the 212s right now. There's going to be a point where he's maxing out the 212s, and then he's going to be able to smoke the Open.
Okay, Derek is that not much taller than Keon. Maybe 1.5 inch at best, right?
Okay.
Keon is way better than Derek in 212. It's not
Oh,
even
yeah.
close. Like as far as the 212 versions,
Yeah.
all
Quads are way
Derek,
fuller.
yeah, all Derek did is, well, not all, but he added about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle within the last 2 years, and he won the Open, right? So this idea of being too small, it's like, well, Derek literally just beat Samson, and he beat everybody at the Olympia. and Keon is gonna be about that same size when he goes up, just
Yeah.
rounder with better proportions. So it's like, why would he be too small if you literally had two 212 guys win the Olympia in the last 3 years?
I'm
You
not
know,
saying he's small. I'm just saying like there will be a moment where he's going to easily be able to come in comfortably above 212, and then I feel like that's going to be the year he'll
I agree. I
take
agree
the open.
because he's so far off because he's competing at like he said it, I forgot, but it's literally like 207 maybe or even less than that. So
Yeah.
he's no, I think it was less than that. But anyways, he's so far down that it wouldn't make sense to
I
go
thought it
up
was,
now. Huh?
wasn't he like one, like the high 190s or?
I think his first time he was, but
Okay.
um, this last time he was a little bit heavier, but still way under. So um, yeah, so once he maxes out the 212, I mean, it's kind of a no brainer. Honestly, though, even this look, in my opinion, could be a top five guy in the open. So,
Absolutely.
one, yeah. So him at 220, it doesn't sound like much, but I think for somebody like this, that's more than enough, man. So, props to Keon. In my opinion, he has the best. Well, probably in
Let's see,
everybody's opinion,
Mike.
Mike the Badass. I think Keon has the best physique in the entire bodybuilding. I think by a landslide. Mike, Mike is somebody who doesn't have a ton of natural like separation. You've noticed that even when he's peeled,
Yeah.
but like he has so much like bubbliness. It's like Martin.
Just his
He
shape.
looks
Yeah.
he's like a classic Martin. What's up, Alyssa?
Okay.
Yeah. He's like
What y'all talking about?
we just went through the guest posing because we haven't actually seen it until now. Actually, did you see it? The guest
I
posing.
saw some of Keon and Samson.
Yeah, we just looked at that right now, and
Did they have Terrence Ruffin out there with them?
No,
oh, he was
Terrence was
compete.
competing.
He was. Yeah, I
No,
don't think he
Terrence
guest
was
posed.
guest posing with Keon and
Really?
Samson. I promise you.
That's not fair. He's peeled. Well, that's
Yeah.
not fair. You got a peeled guy with off-season guys. Yeah, okay, so that was the other person because I remember three classic guys. It was Mike, Ramon, and then you said Terrence.
I definitely saw Terrence next to Keon,
That's kind of silly.
right there in the middle.
Let's see, why are you not showing a wide angle? See, you see
Maybe
what I
it'll pan
mean?
over.
I know why they had Terrence out there because they're trying to see who's about to win the Olympia.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? How oh,
See,
he's right
there's
there.
Terrence right there.
You see how Ramon has wait in the poses he has more detail and separation than Mike, even though I don't think he's necessarily leaner than him. It's just genetically Mike isn't that detailed unless he's like peeled, and even then. Who y'all like between these two?
Right now, I'd say Mike.
Yeah, but the crazy part of it, Ramon has so much more muscle than him in the off season, but on competition day he doesn't look more muscular than him, right?
Yeah. Ramon's got more
It,
detail right there for sure.
isn't that crazy how like dieting down and losing muscle you could appear so drastically different? Like, because right now it looks like Ramon is like
Yeah,
beating
Ramon's
him.
beating him.
Like he's bigger and harder than him. But then on stage at the Olympia, that was not the case at all. That just wasn't the case. You know, Ramon was in LA. He went to Madhouse, right? And everybody's talking about how big he is. And it's like, did I freeze?
No.
Oh, okay. Everybody talking how big he is, and it's like he's legit looks like an open bodybuilding person. It's like Urs. The first time I saw Urs, I was like, there's no way why is he that big and lean too, right? If you're 270 lean, that to me is like that's crazy, right? But they end up losing tissue by the time they hit the stage, and then they don't actually look like C-Bum doesn't even get 270 lean, right? But it's good, Justin.
So,
But then on stage, C-Bum looks bigger than all of them. So it's like it's a weird concept.
what are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about, you see how off season Ramon looks bigger and harder than Mike, but
Well, because he is.
yeah, but then show day, by the time he makes it to stage, then it doesn't look like that
It's
because
that
like
weight cap.
exactly.
Bro, he's 30 pounds above weight right there, 100%.
But he's not 30. He don't have 30 pounds of fat on him.
No,
that's the fucked up part, you know.
Yeah.
If I probably know the answer. If you were Ramon, would you stay in classic?
I never could have ever been classic anyways. Hell no. Look, if you look at him, dude, think of him, because think of a guy like him. His waist is not going to grow. It doesn't matter. His waist is not going to grow at all. He's going to be freaky. Look at him. How tall is he, you think? 5'10"?
He's like my height. I think he's like 5'11". Yeah.
5'10", 5'11". Think of him at 260 on stage. When he's probably 240 right there, probably.
He's somebody who could be 260 on stage in probably a couple years.
And you got to think he does what C-Bum does the last couple of years. He doesn't use gear in the off season. You know, he's not trying to grow.
Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't even do off season. Sometimes he just fucks off.
Exactly.
You know. Yeah. So yeah, that to me is I think there's a legit reason to stay in classic in the beginning to build your brand, because it definitely built their brand. Mm-hmm. But at this point, he's fucking rich. Like in Brazil, these guys are fucking like NBA stars. So
they're superstars, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Look at that guy, the Brazilian guy who went to Olympia last year, Bruno. To us, he's not that popular. You're like, okay, that's that Bruno guy. This man, you look at his page, it's all Lambos and just rich people shit. It's like, he's rich, bro. He's fucking rich. So, and he's not like a top pro, even though he did go to the Olympia. So he's in that field, but he's not like a superstar as far as Olympians, right? So if Ramon goes to Open and he's not a top 2 guy anymore, who cares? Like, he's still going to be rich, and he probably is going to be a top 10 guy, honestly, you know? So I don't know. I don't think there's that many drawbacks to it, you know? What you think of, Brett?
I would love to see Ramon in Open. But I get the building the brand part for classic, because a lot of especially the younger generation loves classic. I think obviously C-Bum had a huge role in making it that popular.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll see how much longer that lasts.
I think I know Alyssa's answer.
What?
Why? As far as you think Ramon should move up to Open?
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's no way he should, because it's not gonna. If he moves up, it's not gonna make his brand any better. Like,
no, but I don't think it hurt his brand either.
It was not gonna hurt it, but like then again, like.
He said, "What's his brand?"
What's his brand? Yeah.
Well, just himself. Like everybody, you know,
just him being super popular. Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. If he continues, when he was getting second to Chris, that's the best his brand. That's the highest his stock been, right? Now, if you hold that or maintain between 2 to 4, you know, then your brand continues to grow. But he's been dropping though year to year. So if that continues, that's gonna hurt his brand more than moving to Open, right? Because you can't be the next in line and then fall down, right? That at some point, if you could hold position, I think you'll be fine. Like, you know, Terrence held position. Like, there's people who've been doing it a long time and not necessarily moving up, but kind of holding that position. But if you've been second and then you moving down slowly, that's not good. Like, how down do you move? You know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if there's a time to switch, it would be while you're moving down. If you're second, don't leave, don't go nowhere. If you're second, third area, I don't care how much you lose. You should just stay there at that point because we're still adults and we have to make a living. So sometimes that has to come first. So if you can stay here and really continue to make this money, you got to do what you got to do. That's probably why he's in the division.
Have y'all talked about the actual open show yet?
No, we have not
No,
actually.
not yet.
But I think we're done with the guest posing. Who were y'all most impressed with in the guest posing?
Probably Keon. Yeah, maybe Ramon.
I mean, I'm most impressed with Keon. Period. Not even just every day. I'm the most impressed with Keon. I think he's the most impressive guy in the league. I think he has the best genetics as far as.
Look at his back just sitting there though. Like he's not even flexing yet, and it's just like thick slabs of 3D meat.
And
Look at him next to Terrence.
It's crazy,
like,
right?
Him and Terrence used to compete together. It was crazy.
That's wild to think about. Oh, and he used to lose to Terrence.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he never made even top 5 at the Olympia, right? In classic,
he did. He got 4th or 5th.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. He got 4th or 5th for one of the years.
I remember he did his very first Olympia natural.
Yeah, I mean, at the time people didn't believe him, but I think in hindsight, yeah.
Now we all know. Yeah.
But even when he started, he was just doing like a little VAR, a little, and then you see him now, and you're like,
cycle.
Exactly. And you see him now, and it all makes sense. You're like, okay, now I see what's going on. I think he may have the best genetics that we've ever seen. We've never seen anything that looks like that, just from a genetic standpoint alone.
With literally missing nothing at that point, yeah.
There was a picture of him doing a front double that how do you do this? Open new tab. That his arm looked the size of his waist.
Well, his head. You mean his side tricep? His side tricep, his arm was literally bigger than his waist. If you go down to those check-in pictures.
His head was bigger than his waist, and his arm was bigger than his waist. Yeah, that's
right there.
God. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. That to me doesn't. You see that?
His arm right there. Holy shit!
His arm is bigger. His arm is bigger than his head and his waist. Like that. That's not normal, So I don't think there's ever been better bodybuilding genetics, shape, structure, muscle bellies. This is a different level. I remember.
Here's another thing about it. You could say like Flex Wheeler or something like that, but
I don't even think so.
Look here. Keon hasn't touched his. He hasn't touched any of his body parts with some dumb shit.
Exactly. I was gonna say, imagine if he did, but I don't even want to see that. I think that's gonna look fucked up. That might move you down. You'll be like, this. Why? How the fuck you have 25-inch arms? That would probably look weird if he actually did it because it's too. I always say if you already have round muscle bellies, you have to be careful with that. That's for people who have long, flat muscle bellies, and I think it looks better. But if you have like peaky, round muscle body, I've done it. I've shot my arms, and it looks stupid because I have short, pointy muscles. So it just doesn't look good. You
just do it in like one spot, or do you do it in multiple spots?
I try that every protocol you could imagine. But even spreading it out, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. When I put my gear in there. Like when I put my gear in body parts, it doesn't look bad. I don't think so, unless somebody thinks it looks bad. But actual like SEO, I tried the XIII or Nolatil. I think it was Nolatil.
Oh, you had some of that? That's hard to get.
Oh, I got a bunch of it still because I couldn't use it. So text me after the pod. No, yeah, because I went and got because I kind of had to get a lot to be able to get it, and then I used it. And what would you imagine happened? So this is how my biceps look, right? Imagine me pinning here or pinning the tricep. So it looks silly, and it just didn't look right. So if you want it, I got you. All right, let's go back to the task at hand. Alyssa's sleeping. You
No,
up?
I'm alive. I'm alive.
You give you some dog, bro.
I mean, this podcast got no rules. You could take naps, recharge. You know, Joe used to be here taking naps all the time.
Bro, Joe passed out like 3 times on this podcast.
But it happened to me. Fucking, I'm hosting the podcast. I've dozed off before. Is when you get deep in prep or deep off season. Shit, I've dozed off talking to people at the gym, bro. I mean, this is,
Just fall asleep standing up, leaning on something.
well, y'all be falling asleep driving, bro.
Almost.
Nah.
I was doing.
Uh-huh.
I used to do security for a little bit, and I fell asleep standing up while I was on prep one year. I literally was like this, just like
Yeah,
people
well,
slipped by.
the driving shit freaks me out. And then anytime I pull over, I can't sleep. So I'm okay. I guess I'll go again. And then I'm like, bro, I almost died like 5 times. I'm like, this is not okay. This is not okay. You know.
Yeah.
And it happens to me peak off season, and once I get down to a certain body weight, like right now, I just can't sleep through the night. I'm taking everything, bro. Anything created for sleep that the world has ever seen, I've done it all, and it'll help for like a couple of days. And then I just can't sleep. Even if it can get me to sleep, I can't stay asleep. I just can't. So then my sleep is so choppy, and then during the day I got shit to do, so I can't just be sleeping. So then I'm up and about, and I'm dozing off all fucking day, and it's fucking miserable, bro. So that's my
You
sob
smoke
story.
before bed?
I haven't smoked in some months, but I used to smoke before bed all the time. I might have to throw that back. You know what's it's funny you say that? That worked better than any fucking prescription or non-prescription medication. Literally.
Because I'm down to just smoking after my last meal, and it's like clockwork. As soon as I eat my last meal and I smoke, I'm ready to like crash.
You know why I think that is? Because the sleeping part, it's not like I don't think it's like a medical issue. It's just like our brains keep going, especially in prep. If you're on stims, you're on, things that stimulate like your nervous system. I'm not on trend yet, but when I'm on trend, obviously it's worse. So things like that. So I think we can't stop thinking.
You need to get some Gabo when you get on trend.
But I'm on GABA all year round, bro. I take. There's not a supplement that exists that's not in my cabinet.
What about
you couldn't find it?
Benadryl?
I don't take it, but I do have it.
Bro, Benadryl knocks me out.
What about that uprising descend?
I have 3 things of it over there, and I haven't taken it because it's the same exact ingredient, so I don't understand how it's supposed to make you go to sleep.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly what I'm thinking. For me, it made it harder to go to sleep. I'm not even gonna lie. No offense, but
Justin Shire he takes 1 Sin and 2 Descends before training. So I'm like, I'm not taking that shit before I go to bed.
Kratom makes me. I'm on Kratom right now, actually. So if you notice, I'm like super talkative right now. Kratom makes me fucking chatty. It doesn't make me want to go to sleep at all.
Have you tried
That's
the
social
Kava
boost.
Kratom drinks?
What's that?
The Kava Kratom drinks?
What's that? I don't. Oh, we have
Kava-
Child has it, but
Yeah,
no.
Kava is like a herb that makes you have like euphoric, uplifted feeling, kind of.
Does this one have it? The regular dial? No.
No, you have to get the specific Kava. It'll say Kava Kratom. They have the smiley faces on them.
They're 2 different drinks. Like that one's the
Yeah.
Kratom one, and the other one's got the Kava in it.
How y'all know more about dial than me? I've been with dial longer than y'all. How the fuck y'all know more than me?
Gotta be on the website, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
I'm
some
the,
sick like attire and bags and stuff.
I'm the worst sponsored athlete of all time. I'm terrible. I don't even look at the group chat, bro. I'm horrible, bro. But
Nothing's
one
going
thing I
on in the
am,
group.
huh?
Nothing really is going on in the group message.
Okay. But one thing I'm honest. So people use my code because if I say something, I'm not bullshitting you. And I've actually told sponsors that. I've said things on the podcast where sponsors have been like, "Why would you say that?" I'm like, "What do you mean? You're gonna tell young people not to take it?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't waste your fucking money. What do you mean?" And then he was like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that." I'd be like, "I'm a grown ass fucking man. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say." Like, too bad. I'm sorry. You know, we don't work together anymore. But we're still cool, but we don't work together anymore. He just, listen. I'm cool with that. Like, I'll be honest. I mean, okay. I mean, the commission is nice, but I'm not into the business of saying shit that's not true. Sorry.
I only talk about products I use.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna tell you the proper way to use it, not what's gonna make me the most money. I'm gonna tell you where and when you should use it. I tell people with the dialed, if you've never taken it before or you've never taken kratom before, start with half. Right? Would I make more money if you drink the whole thing? Yeah. But how would I tell you that? You know, it's just I don't know. I don't believe in that personally because the more people believe you, they take your word seriously. I used to work with the meal company. What's the one that used to be popular?
Mega Fit.
The one that was like the biggest one at the time.
Icon.
What you said, Justin?
Trifecta.
Boom, trifecta. So I was working with trifecta, and then now I was getting it, and then I was freezing it. With all fairness, so it might be different if you eat it fresh, right? So I would get it, and it would be beef, chicken, salmon. If you freeze salmon and beef, it might not be the best. So, anyways, I didn't like the taste. Okay, straight up, I didn't like the taste. Now I'm never gonna turn down free food. Never in my life will I turn down free food. So I ate that shit, but I'm a bodybuilder. I'm not eating for taste per se, right? I want it to taste good, but I don't need it to taste good. It's just a bonus if it does. So I have no issue with it. But when people keep asking me, "Oh, yo, how do you think about the taste? We take the taste." I'm like, hey, listen. Because if I tell you something and you go buy it in bulk and spend $200, and now you're like, "Baby, what? Why you told me this salmon was good?" You know. So I'm not gonna be that guy. So I was like, for me personally, I don't care about taste. That's what I'm gonna say. You can try a little bit. Let me know what you think. You know, I'm not gonna say. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say it tastes good.
Once you try chicken pound, you'll know about taste.
I've actually heard chicken pound is really good by everybody.
Fire.
You know, so I'm no longer working with trifecta, obviously. So you know, okay, so they're doing those things, but I have no problem losing a sponsor if they don't like honesty. Straight up, you know. So like I said, I use it, so I'm fine with it, but you might not be. Some people aren't bodybuilders and they care about taste more than the actual convenience. I'd rather the convenience than the taste. Right, Justin? Justin don't care about taste.
Yeah, I do.
But if you do care about taste, go to flavorgang.com and use code Abbott or code Macho for a discount.
Damn, you got one.
What's y'all's favorite flavor in the Flavor Gang?
I got a bad habit that I like to change it up. So I'll open like 4 or 5 different bottles, which you don't want to do.
The sauce.
The sauce, yeah.
No, the cream of rice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about the sauce. The cream of rice. I liked making with chocolate pancakes. What's the chocolate flavor?
Brownie butter.
I would make chocolate pancakes. Oh, there you go. I will make chocolate pancakes with the brownie batter, and that shit was sitting. And I'll put the vanilla whey paste. Yeah. And I tried the sugar-free syrup thing. I don't like the taste of it,
bro. And I notice it starts bloating me, bro.
It tastes like medicine, bro. It
does.
Medicine. Yeah,
it does. I can use it real sparingly, but like
a little bit.
Like at this point, I'm like, why even use it? Because one, my ISO tastes really, really good, and then you have Flavor Gang that's already flavored. Like, why do you really need more? Oh, you're talking about the pancakes. But yeah, the pancakes are made with the Flavor Gang.
It got flavor. It got more than the flavor in it,
Bro.
Yeah.
You know what's really good? When I was staying with Jordan, dude, making waffles, it makes it totally different.
Like crunchy. It makes it a little crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Dude,
so how do you
it's
do
just
that?
like a regular ass waffle. I swear. How he
Wait a
makes it,
minute. Don't tell me that, Justin. Wait a minute.
you're gonna be
I'm about
buying
to-
you a ninja waffle maker.
How? Yeah, I'm about to. You know, in prep when you start purchasing shit like crazy, bro. Every
Bro,
year,
you get a package from Amazon every day.
every year I tell myself it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And I'm praying, please don't let it happen. It's getting better because the first time it happened to me bad, I bought a whole new car, bro, that I didn't need. A very expensive car.
I've never bought a car like that, man.
I got a car last year before Texas Pro.
Yeah,
Luckily, I can't afford a fucking car anymore, so I can't do that. But at the time, I was making good money, you know, for the wrong reasons. But money is money. Nobody's gonna ask. But
Dude, I got up at 2 a.m. the other night and went and got a package from the mailbox.
see what I'm saying it's now.
Would you go
It's
get?
get
A package from the mailbox.
Oh.
I was like, I need that shit right now.
Bro, I got up at 2 o'clock this morning because I couldn't go back to sleep. And I just started looking at the Derek and Nick pictures again, and I still couldn't see it.
Robbery.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to that. Okay, we'll get to that. But I was gonna say, damn, what I was.
What'd you buy? What'd you buy?
Oh yeah, okay. So last prep, I had this because I was like, I'm not buying nothing, no sneakers, no anything. So I told myself that what happens is the energy goes somewhere. You can't stop it. You contain it on something, it goes somewhere else. So I, without even noticing, I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to get the best farm grade stuff because it's not about just it's not a prep thing. It's just I want to make sure I look good, you know. So I'm buying all the most expensive U.S. farm shit and this farm, but it did the same shit.
You know what I
This
have a
is-
bad habit of is I'll get on Facebook Marketplace and I'll just message people like I'll just message people like I'll be like, you take $5 for this? They're asking like 50 or something. And I'll just do it a couple times and like if I get a response, I'm like, all right, bet I'll buy it. And it'll be like
It works.
bro, I bought damn, what did I buy? I know I bought like 3 treadmills.
Oh yeah,
I burned through them. But they're like $100. It's like it's
bro.
easy.
I got a what do you call it? The bike, the one that you relax, the one that you can sit back on.
Recumbent.
Yeah, so I kept looking at it. I would see like 50, this, that. I saw one for 40. I hit him up. I was like, yo, if you could do 20, I'll buy it right now. He said, bet. I said, where you live? And it was kind of far. I said, yo, if you bring it here, I'll give you 30. He said, no problem.
Oh, what the fuck?
Dude pulled up. He had this van. He was a hoarder, bro. The van just had random stupid shit in there. Just everything. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Maybe he wanted you to buy more
that bag
stuff.
was stolen.
Probably. But luckily I didn't buy anything else because I'm looking in the back. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Now you shopping in the back of this motherfucker.
Yeah. You're like, hey, well, what's that over there? Like, that fucking, I like how that looks. Let me get 2 of those, man. Let me get 2 of those.
The Houston Facebook Marketplace.
And shit.
Yeah.
The Houston Facebook Marketplace is like legit because you can go on there and find like if you wanted to build a gym, you could literally build it off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah,
It's badass.
Yeah,
that's fire.
You know what a funny ass thing to do though, if you want to laugh, is look up mirrors on Facebook Marketplace because people are taking pictures of mirrors and they're standing right in front of the mirror. So they're taking a picture of themselves in the mirror, bro. Dude, you'll see some funny shit, dude. It's hilarious.
That's silly. That's silly. Any of y'all ever tried the walking pad?
Bro, we're too big for walking pads, bro. You're gonna burn them bitches up.
Yeah, I have. Daniel has one.
And then were you able to use it?
No, my strides are way too long, and then just my walking patterns are way too wide for it. Those things are pretty narrow and short.
They're small. And me, bro, when I walk on a treadmill, I still I touch the side every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'll walk off that bitch if I'm on my phone or something.
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
hate that shit.
When I'm on a regular treadmill, I could barely fucking use the regular treadmill, right? But
I know,
Yeah,
ain't no way my ass could use a walking pad, bro.
that's what I'm saying. And then I think because of my weight, it would stick. And then I couldn't balance myself. And I'm trying to keep my legs close. And then my adductors are rubbing. It was just terrible. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, I literally have a apartment gym downstairs. But in prep, I got so fucking tired and lazy. I didn't want to walk I don't got to walk. I didn't want to take the elevator downstairs to fucking treadmill. So I bought a fucking walk. Think about how silly that sounds. There's a free gym downstairs with treadmills and ellipticals and whatever. And I buy a bike and a walking pad to do cardio, so I don't have to see somebody and have to entertain them and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm dieting." I'm like, I don't even want to see anybody. Fuck everybody. So then it was silly, but I see guys using it, and I'm like, how? I actually messaged Shire. I was like, "Yo, Shire, how the fuck does your big ass walk on that?" And he was like, I don't got big strides. I don't know. It works for me. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. Send me the link because that can't be a regular walking pad.
Justin's
How?
not regular either, though.
Bro, bro, unless it's Sean Clarita on that shit, like there's no way he could fit on that. Like Justin's like 5'8", you know, and I know he's not that heavy. He's a muscle belly guy, but still, bro.
Yeah, he's only probably 250 right now.
Oh, he might have a point. Yeah, but he might have just made the cut. Maybe
I burn regular ass treadmills up. I know I burn a walking pad up.
This is true. Not his thing. His legs. He don't have a lot of adductor. He's like mostly sweeps, right? He's a sweep guy. I think he made the cut by like an inch. I think if he was 5 pounds heavier, it's over with. Next off season, no more walking pads. It's over. All right, let's get to the show. I was trying to procrastinate it. I didn't want to just start the show and go straight to the show because I felt like a lot of people have strong opinions about the show, as we should.
I wish we had more people on here to talk about this shit.
Yeah, I sent a bunch of links, but I'll probably do a second show. I haven't been doing the Wednesday shows. I'd be tired, bro. But
we still got to get the wheelchair guy on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was supposed to get this guy on today. I think I replied too late. He probably like, bro.
Oh, you know who else we need to get on is Jay Yon. I bet I can send it right now. He'll probably come on.
Fuck it, yeah. Then.
All right, I'll send it to him.
Y'all know Black Rambo?
Yeah.
The dude that did Detroit. So he was supposed to be on today, but he texted me early to confirm. And if you guys know me, I don't really be up around that time. I go to sleep at 6 a.m, so I'm not usually up at 11. Yeah, I wake up, walk my dogs, and then hop on the podcast. Well, speaking of dogs,
got a white girl.
Yeah, we talk about prep. Well, this is not a prep purchase because he was free. He was free, but it's still an expense to feed him. Right?
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna see you want to come on.
Say hi.
What's his name?
His name is Bishop.
Bishop.
This is Bishop. He's a Bichon Fries. So he's a bougie.
No, it's all good. We'll get you on for a full time. It's all good.
Bougie dog. So he's like a lap dog, the opposite of Kane. Right, Kane wants to kill people, but playfully. And this dude, look at him. Look, this is what he does all day. He lays on the couch and right, Bishop. He lays on the couch and does nothing. So they literally bred them for rich people to have company. For rich people who have nothing better to do, to just have company lie around. Yeah. So this is Bishop. Everybody say hi, Bishop.
What is it though?
Hi, Bishop.
It's a Bichon Fries. They call it Bichon Fries. It's like the most. It's like the most the most chill. The most chill, loyal, just like house, like a cat. He's like a cool cat, like a cat that wants to play, basically.
You know, he is just chilling right there.
He's like falling asleep.
Bro, he's not even moving. He looks like a stuffed dog, bro. They got that dog scared. That's what it is. That dog ain't even moving, bro.
No, this is how lazy he is. He does. Yo, this dude's not moving, bro. Or he might be nervous about the screen, maybe, or he's sleepy. But yeah, literally, he does nothing. He lays down, And if I move, he looks at me. If I go too far, he'll follow me to make sure I'm not leaving him. And that's about it. All right. Go sleep. His previous owner was a friend of a friend, and he just didn't have the time, and the living conditions were bad. He would leave him in the backyard. And I'm like, this is not a backyard dog, bro. This is not a pit bull. He's not going to do well in the backyard. You know, so he would get like anxious and start throwing up and all this weird shit. You know, so, hey, anyways, let's go back to the show. And why did I have it on a small screen? Nobody saw that. The viewers didn't see him. Let me show him again. There you go.
We saw him.
Did he have a gold chain on?
Yeah.
Oh, you know he does. Talk about prep purchases. That's one of them.
Chain gang.
Right, stupid shit. All right. Let's get some. Who got the best pictures or videos?
Shit, and Yoko.
Oh yeah, that's like the best footage you're gonna get. All right. See what they got. I didn't actually look at. I didn't see anybody else's like prejudging mandatory. I didn't look at Crizzo or anything like that. Actually,
The only one I didn't look at is Nick's.
Basically,
bro. His when he came out for individual, bro, right there.
So
watch this.
So most people are saying this is one of his best looks. I think it's his best look by far, in my opinion.
I think he was a little sharper at is it the Arnold or New York? New York.
The Arnold that he lost to Samson was his best condition, just pure condition. That was his best condition. But look at this. Look at just in the front pose. Look at his legs, bro. We've never seen his quads this big before. When he gets in the pose,
yeah, right there.
We've never seen his quads that big before. So the fuller, he's still peeled, but the fuller look, I think it's necessary for him to keep his legs looking like this. You know,
one of the craziest shots for him, honestly, is his side tricep, because the way he pulls his waist in on that side tricep is wild.
And in the back poses, his waist looks like one of the best waists up there, actually.
When he does his lat spread, you see how he does it, right? He puts his hands.
I saw it. Yeah. But not the way most people do it. You know how most people, they'll bend it like that?
Yeah, but he keeps his hands literally like this.
Exactly. He does.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's hard. I'm going to try that.
I got to be honest. I didn't think he had the mobility to do that, if I'm being completely honest.
I don't think he's posing very hard either. Like, he's just
not at all
nonchalant as fuck.
He's chewing gum while he's doing it. Yeah, he's fucking chilling right there.
Yeah, he don't give a.
I think there can be benefits to that, because you see how hard Martin poses and he starts to sweat and shit.
Well, no, Martin's problem is he can't control his emotions. When he didn't get moved right in, you could see it in his face, and he just cortisol shot up and he just starts dripping.
You're saying it's not a posing thing. It's a
emotion.
What you call it?
Mental.
Would you call that nerves, or just like he gets excited too? He gets hyped, right?
No, it's not that he's getting hyped. It's that he's getting pissed off.
Yeah, he's fucked up his own expectation.
That's not good. You don't want emotion on stage. Well, I mean, it's different if you're like, yeah, let's go. But even that, I got to be honest, I don't think you want too much emotion on stage. Even if you're excited, because that doesn't mean it doesn't mean you're gonna win just because you're excited. So I think like a calm, not as calm as Andrew, but like Nick's demeanor right now, keep it like that. Just come hit the poses, walk off the stage. I think you could do a little bit of yeah, come on, but you don't want to be overly emotional on stage. I don't think that's a good thing, you know.
No.
But
and also, did you see whenever they announced the first and second place, Martin like got extra excited that Nick was in second?
Yeah. I did notice that. So did Crizzo a little bit. Crizzo doesn't really like Nick, actually. He actually said it publicly. You know.
Did any of y'all actually watch the live stream?
No.
I didn't watch the live stream.
Bro, you know Crizzo didn't even show up to finals. He was
I
like
heard
he
he
was
was
late.
late.
He was
Yeah,
late as fuck.
didn't have a tan on.
Didn't have a
Oh,
tan on,
how?
no glaze, nothing.
He posed
Him
like he was
and the other guy in the green trunks, like pretty big but not in condition enough.
I think that's silly. I think that's silly because we talk about emotions, right? Don't be that. I mean, he's probably a bit upset maybe at his placings, but where the fuck else you gonna place? Like, let's be honest, you know.
I think
But
it was
you
just
know,
a mistake.
oh, okay, it might be a.
Who helped Crizzo with posing?
Who?
Who helped Crizzo with posing?
I have no idea.
If somebody did help him, then they gotta lose their job. No more.
No, I know someone did help him. I just forget who it was.
Well, let me not blame them because
The only
it could be
person I
Chris's
can
fault.
think of would be like Chris Camille, and I know he didn't help him.
Nah, I remember hearing someone was helping him with his posing because he had George coaching and then someone posing. But
Well, you gotta go back to the drum board. I gotta be honest, man. With all due respect, I don't mean this in a rude way. His arms are getting worse as far as the loss of separation is getting less separated.
Well, we know what it's from.
Huh?
Well, we know what it's from.
Chris, did you watch Cormier's podcast with Armand and
Yeah.
yeah, he oh no, was that the one with Leo Mayhofer?
No, it was with Oman.
With
Because they
Oman?
talked about all that shit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a good look. I know why he would do it because his arms weren't a strong point.
But they're not making it looking any better.
And for some reason, it's not getting peakier.
Just getting more of like a football shape.
It kind of feels like he's doing it wrong. Like he's doing it down here. You're supposed to do it up here, and that usually gets more of a peak. But it looks like it's almost like down here, which
Yeah, it
doesn't
looks
look good.
terrible, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good at all. It doesn't look very good at all. Yeah, I don't think that's helping him at all. All right, so what sticks out to you, good or bad, right here? Let's start with Brett.
Right here
Yeah, just his look for the show.
for this
First
show.
glance. Yeah.
I would say that Derek is very bubbly. I think that he has very good control of his waist and midsection.
He
It does
does.
look like there's a small film of water on his abdominals, but he's still keeping control of it.
That's
I-
really good ab control right there. I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy ab control. Yeah,
Right there?
Yeah, he you never see his stomach pop out at all.
I would say that he does have some external rotation problems right here when he with his arms. Specifically that left arm more so than the right, but I would still say both. I do like that his lower lats pop out as much as they do.
But that pose got better. His last spread got because I didn't like his last spread much before. I think he rounding his back a little more than usual.
Looked like it. I like his look for the Arnold in this one better than his past looks, mainly because his quads are more full than they have been. His quads are a little bit downsized from the Arnold on this one, but they're still fuller than they were at the Olympia. You can tell by like the outer sweep. So whatever Chris Aceto's doing for him is working. I just think he needs to keep bringing his quads in fuller. Whatever it is that he's doing to do that for the Arnold.
That
Yeah,
was a good
between here and
assessment.
Olympia, I wouldn't even train my back. I would just train my quads.
Yeah.
Do you think people are scared to do that? Because
Okay.
that seems like the obvious. At least even if you do train it, like lower the frequency, right? But yeah, you would think. I see him train his back, and he trains his back insane. And in the back of my head, I kind of think, I think you should save that recovery for something else. Because since your back is already like this, I think you could benefit off saving that recovery for your legs. You know, I don't know, maybe. What you thought of Derek, Alyssa, for the show?
He looks good. I'm not the best with details. Y'all know more. I just think Nick took the show.
Yeah, I think of most of.
Here's one thing. Also, is Nick on stage is as real as it gets. Like he's not faking it. Derek is faking every fucking thing he does, and you can tell it's so awkward. He's such an awkward ass person.
Yeah, it
Damn,
feels
Justin not holding
non-genuine.
back. Justin not holding back, man.
People that know him and are in the industry, like we're not in the industry near as much as people that I've talked to, and everybody knows that he's fake.
Oh, damn,
As much as I agree with Justin, and I have every right to complain about Derek because he has talked shit on me before, I will say I still think Derek won.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, on Mutant in the Mouth.
Well, he talked about you. You said?
Yeah, indirectly, but
Derek or Nick?
Derek.
Yeah, Derek was on in the mouth one time.
Yeah.
And why was he talking about you, Brett?
Because I do soft tissue therapy. Like I've worked on Joe, I've worked on Paul, and I worked on other people. I've worked on, I don't know if you know Horacio.
Yeah,
and I walked up to Derek and I'm like, yo, dude, let me know, I'll work on you. And the way he pitched it on me in the mouth made it sound like some gay shit.
Oh, damn. Well, he can't be too safe, bro. Can't be too safe.
Yeah. But I was with Danielle though. Literally, I'm with my fiance. Like,
okay, shit. I mean, shit, it happened. To be honest, I think most people feel that way about Derek. That it doesn't come off very genuine.
It's
pretty much
put on for sure.
Anything he does. But if you remember, I'm sure Justin probably remembers, like early on when he came on the scene, how he was.
That was the real. Derek.
That was.
It's still the Derek, and then it's just hidden.
He just doesn't want to show it. Yo, a lot of the podcasts he did early on, they're deleted, bro.
Yeah,
because he got that money, he paid him off.
Well, he did one with MD with Ron, and it was bad, bro. The one he did with Fuad was actually bad, but I actually couldn't find it. If that's still up, I don't know if it's up.
Right on.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
You think he's just trying to get a specific look?
Yeah, he's trying to have an image portrayed as Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. That's it is what it is. I mean, it's probably going to help. Well, I don't know if it is going to help his brand. Maybe in some ways. I don't. He seems to be doing well financially, but I think people appreciate real, even if they don't agree with everything you say. Like people talk shit about some of Nick's comments, but I think people respect that he's being Nick, though. You know? And look at Giles has been on record not really getting along with Nick at all. And look what Giles said, right? That's coming from somebody who, for years, did not get along with Nick. You know, so
you ought to go down to those comments. I guarantee you, it's 90-10.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, of course, yeah. And to be honest, like it's not even like a lot of people are even fans of Nick's physique. They just looking at it clear. They just like aesthetically, I prefer Derek's physique aesthetically as well. I think
if his legs would have been fuller, I would not have said that he lost. To be honest,
yeah.
Okay, this girl tighter,
huh?
Fuller legs and coming in a little tighter in some
areas. Yeah, he needed to probably be, that film. It's really not that we know he's in shape. Look at his glutes. He's in shape. He just had a little small film. So, I mean,
I think when you're giving up that much size to somebody, you have to be more peeled than them. You can't match their condition, or even in some body parts, you could say Nick even had more detail. Like the abs, the upper body from the front, obviously Nick had more detail. That's not Derek's strong part, but still, if somebody, because Nick was a lot bigger, even Nick's quads were bigger, and Nick's quads are probably his weakest point. Not his legs, but his quads in particular. And that was, bigger than Derek's, right? And then his best pose, the back double, I could argue that Nick was winning the back double or a tie. Let's say a tie.
No,
But that's
he
his.
won that. He won that 100%. Only shot
That's
he
how I feel.
lost was the front double.
What
And
about
to be
front lat?
honest,
In the what?
Front lat.
Oh yeah.
to be honest with you, Derek had the crazy taper, but in some ways, I can make an argument that Nick could win the front double. If I'm being compared, so I'll take a look at the front double. It's not as pretty.
I think if he
But-
stays right there and he doesn't do that, I think if he almost stayed up, that looked crazy.
So as an amateur, he used to hit it stretched, and everybody told him that his waist looks long. But would you rather your waist look long or wider? Would you rather it look? What's wrong with long? Lee Priest had a long waist. Antonio had a long waist. Long makes it look smaller, right? In my opinion.
Well, the way that he used to hit it is what they're talking about, where he didn't
Too high.
like pull in at all. He just coming straight up and like hanging.
Yeah, you
Like
got
a-
to you got to pull in. Yeah, when I come up, I don't pull a real vacuum, but I
You just
pull
kind
it
of suck it a
in.
little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. So do you. Yeah, you do that. You pull it in a bit, or even if you could do a slight vacuum.
Yeah,
I don't think like a super deep vacuum always looks good, but I think it's like the Shire.
that's
like,
hard to do for us because we have to eat before the shows.
Yeah.
Those classic
Exactly.
guys, dude. I've watched some classic guys videos. They don't eat the morning of the show.
But the way some of them hit that vacuum, there can't be anything in your stomach. It's impossible. But if I had 6 ounces of fucking rice, I wouldn't. The only time I could do that if fasted morning after like a crazy low day. But
I'm gonna get headed out, baby, just to spend
Alright.
more time with family.
All right, Brett, you already know, man. Thanks
All
for
right,
coming on.
later, guys.
Have a good one, bud.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. So I'm like, you have a stomach. Like, where does all that hollow space come from? You know. So
Is he
Anyways.
about to hit the? Does he hit the side try on this one? We got to watch that.
I don't think he. Let's see. He might hit it. Yeah, but honestly, man, the only Derek doesn't even have a better back. I would say he has better lats. But like I said, the lats are still kind of
But
strange.
look, see where Nick's lats insert? They go down almost
Actually
like
lower.
they go down further than his do. Derek's do.
Yeah. If somebody has wider lats, right, but you have better shoulders, better triceps, better bicep, better hamstrings, your glutes don't have the same amount of lines, but they take up more space and they're just as hard. So you're winning every body part besides the actual upper lat, almost, I would say. I still think you win the shot, personally.
I'm with Alyssa. I think the only shots that he lost was the front double, and I don't think he lost it by much. And the front lat spread. That's literally it.
When I first watched it, I thought he only lost the front lat spread, if I'm being honest. That's the first thing I thought. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
So that to me is kind of wild, man. That's
Go to
like-
Martin's.
oh yeah, Martin. I found Martin interesting, man.
Dude, Martin looked great when he came out right here. He's a little soft in the legs. It looks like a film. It doesn't look like he's out of shape. It just looks like a film. Looks like his legs are tired almost. And then he got a little better, and then he got worse.
One thing I'll say is the amount of bubbliness he has with that waist.
Yeah.
Stefan said it in a video. He was looking at Martin. He said, "I don't think we've ever seen somebody with that much muscle and fullness still have that kind of waist with it's like it's kind of a crazy look, right? It's a look that doesn't happen often. Just the bubbliness alone. You have Compton, you have Phil, and you have Young Bonac. Those are like some of the bubbliest people I can
think
remember.
he's more bubblier than some of those guys.
I think so too.
Just the way that everything,
keep it
like if he just stands there in the front, like just look at his shoulders, his chest, his arms. It's not
quads,
like
too.
you know how some people like Nick, his triceps come down and they peak out and they come down. His biceps peak hard. Barton is just like a freaking. It's like a tube of meat. That's what he is.
It doesn't make sense. Honestly, I almost think he's too bubbly. I think I think when you're that bubbly, you're not as separated, right? Just like genetically.
So do you think he's too full?
I think he's too full. Like like Stefan loves the full look, and I don't disagree. I think in today's IFBB, you know that why in today's not the amateur ranks in the pro ranks, you have to be full.
You have to.
You have no choice. You don't stand a chance if you're not full. How full you are, I think Stefan sometimes can go a little too far. With somebody who's that bubbly, you don't need to be this full.
Do you
Right.
think that maybe they just don't cut water hard enough or something?
I don't think they cut any water. Like
They cut some water. Yeah.
From what I heard,
he's not hard on diuretics at all, though.
when I watched, you ever watched some of Nathan's vlogs? Nathan Diasha,
Who?
he was doing some vlog.
Yeah.
Diasha, he wasn't doing diuretics. He was drinking like, well, he probably drinks more than the gallon of water usually. But a day before the show, at least for me and most of my clients, a gallon is a lot of water.
Oh,
And
I'll
he was
drink
eating-
at least a gallon.
Oh, see, so everybody got different bites. But like, they're keeping decent water, and he was having burgers, and I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think if you're gonna,
Nathan's a different human being, though.
he is. But my point is, I think if you're pushing food as high as some people push it, I think you have to dry out. You got to dry out. Yeah, so I think literally even a quarter diazide, I don't know what he did, quarter half of diazide, like 4 pounds of water off this, I think looks.
Yeah, I thought he was about 2 or 3 pounds too heavy.
Yeah, but it's not body fat. Like I don't think he has any body fat
at all.
Yeah. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all having me on.
Of course, brother. Of course, brother. We just dissecting some of this. Now, Martin coming in, it looked like he was going to be his best condition ever, and he body fat wise, I mean, he might have been, but he was definitely holding some water.
Because normally even his medialis are stripped.
His meatus is stripped like 6 weeks out sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, now I'll say Martin isn't naturally he doesn't have a lot of separation and detail to his muscle. So you know how when he does that update or guest posing like a couple weeks out, everybody says he's fat. But like everybody says he's fat, and then people who know the sport are like, that's stupid. Martin is never fat. There's no chance Martin is going to be fat.
He was just really flat that day.
He was really flat, but also he doesn't have a ton of natural separation. So if he's not tanned up, he's also pale. If he's not tanned up,
also really bad too. He needs better tan.
Yeah, if he's not tanned up, filled out, and dry, he's not gonna look like he's peeled as he is. You know. Jay, what you thought about Martin's look here?
I mean, honestly, I could tell. You know, he was a little bit off, especially from his Olympia look. So I think he just seemed a little bit soft to me compared to obviously Derek and Nick, who were both hard as nails. So I think, you know, he's already, like you touched on, he's already a huge, bubbly, round guy. I think him playing, you know, more of the, I guess, size game is what they went for, trying to come in like, I think, what was it, like 8 pounds heavy or something like that for this look. Yeah. I don't think he needed it, you know.
When it comes to weight, it's a slippery slope.
For sure.
Because that jump he made from 2 years ago to last year, he actually didn't gain any stage weight at all. But he was way better. Right?
100%.
So it's not always about that, because when you chase that weight, anytime somebody says, I'm going to be 10 pounds heavier, we don't usually see something good come out of it.
No.
You know, maybe as an amateur, I don't know, but as a pro, maybe Compton. Maybe Compton is the only one that I could say. But Compton still wasn't as hard as he was lighter, because he was still hard.
Once you get bigger, once you get to a certain spot, you start losing stuff.
You're right.
You start losing details. Like it just is what it is.
Don't talk about me like that.
Well, I remember seeing Justin at I remember seeing you at USA's 22. When was that? 21. Oh, the year Stu won. You know what I'm talking about, right? and Justin was way smaller. But guess what? Justin was more peeled than anybody in that fucking lineup. But Justin's still peeled, but it's a different look. The detail you had at that body weight, I don't know how much you weighed, but a lot light, I would assume. The detail was stupid, and I don't think it's realistic for you to have that detail at 260. I don't think that's gonna happen,
bro. It really is.
Yeah. If y'all seen Joe as an amateur at Cal State, bro, I looked at Joe. I said, Joe, you could do a 212 show right now, and you would be top 3. Like that. That's how insane you look. The detail was. I've never seen anything like that. Even on the pro stage, I haven't seen it. And Joe now is so much bigger, but that amount of detail, I don't know if it's possible at that size. You know.
Ian was the same way.
I remember. Yeah, he had the lines in his glutes when he was smaller. He had the lines all the way down, and his glutes were hard when he was bigger, but it wasn't. It wasn't
that shredded. Yeah.
No. All right. They don't have the videos for the other guys, but I want to see Crizzo. I didn't actually see Crizzo.
He was actually peeled, big, hard. He just has a weird looking backside with a little baby glutes.
the biggest critique I heard, like I said, I didn't actually see his routine. I heard his posing was atrocious. That he was shaking and jittery and from what I've seen from him, that's kind of how he usually is.
That's normal.
Yeah. We talk about posing too hard. I don't know if it's just posing awkwardly, but it looks maybe he shouldn't pose as hard because he seems to be just like struggling real bad to pose. You know?
Yeah, pinching is very double.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy that at such a high level, you could have these small issues that you wouldn't think you would have.
Almost like as you come out for your mandatories, your posing intensity should increase towards the end. And it's like you come out and you hit the front double, and then front lat, and then side chest, you could pose a little harder. And then once you turn around to the rear, pose a little harder, and then face the front and finish with the most muscular. But it's like you want to ease into it.
You do. One thing I learned in 2023, I was so flat that I couldn't actually pose. And I couldn't even get a pump because I was so drained. And then I looked at the pictures and I was like, it looks exactly the same as when I'm pumped and when I'm posing hard. So I'm like, well, so maybe I don't need to pose that hard. It's the same shit. It's like, guys are pumped for an hour and think that's gonna create a new physique. You know, some people it does help them. I'm not gonna lie, but most people doesn't do a ton. You just get tired. You know, but what you have by that time, other than some Rice Krispie snacks, that's what you got. It's not going to change much. All right. So who had other than Brett? Did anybody have Derek winning the show? Jay?
I had Nick personally.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. I think even Derek had Nick winning because he seemed a little surprised.
Bro, for real, he was very surprised.
He seemed surprised, yeah. So everybody, from what I heard, the crowd was like booing or making some strange noises.
Well, like it went completely quiet, and then it started like people started talking. You could hear talking. Ain't not one person cheered. Maybe Derek's wife. Maybe.
Yo, you know what's crazy about the 90s? You ever seen some of these results of the 90s? They would be like Paul Dillette in 5th. The crowd would be like, boo. They'd be throwing shit. And then Paul would be like, oh, fuck this. Talking shit. I'm like, you could never get away with that today. You got to smile and just act like everything is fine. Guys used to talk shit. They'll take off the medal. They'll be like, no, bullshit, you blind motherfucker. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I kind of want to see guys do
some WWE shit.
Yo, the shit was raw, and it's like I don't think there's anything. Well, we just talk about emotion. Like you don't want to show emotion during posing, but I think it's human. I think after the show, if you feel some kind of way, you shouldn't have to feel like you can't show it. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. But
No,
if you look this,
Nick did it perfectly.
yeah, just got you. Come on, bro.
Fuck.
He's like, what the fuck? But
Did y'all see
I
that
think
video that C-Bone made about it?
that says a lot.
What'd he
That
say?
says a lot.
Basically, like
Nick won, basically.
that, but like how he handled it, like is what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel Nick's pain. I kind of was in his position at the Texas Pro. You
Yeah,
just gotta.
I talked to Nick after the show.
Me too. Yeah. Now he won't see it this way yet, but this might be the best thing that could have happened to him.
No.
Me personally, I think he went from the underdog to somehow people didn't fuck with him because he missed a couple Olympias, which is kind of a weird reason, but it was like he was like, oh, Nick, and this made him win the fans back 20 plus. In the grand scheme of things, not to disregard the show, it's still just the Pittsburgh. He has bigger goals than that. So it's still just the Pittsburgh. You would rather lose this is not going to happen again. If he wins like this, there's zero chance they're going to give it to somebody again. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's still the Pittsburgh. Nick has bigger goals than that at the end of the day. So the way I see it is like him beating Lunsford, that wasn't like off. And Lunsford is an Olympia champion who just beat the reigning Miss Olympia. I think that puts him in a position where he can genuinely win the Olympia this year, right? And if he were to do that, it will make the story that much better. And he would be like, I don't care about no Pittsburgh. Like, let's be real. For the long game, this is the best thing that could happen to him as a brand. Because you rather have the people. If Nick would have won, people would have agreed with it. But there would have been some people, you know, that maybe would have said, oh, they just gave it to him because the storyline or some shit like that. This, without a doubt, he's the people's champ for everybody. And that's going to do a lot for your brand. And even for shows, I think that can help you actually win the Mr. Olympia. You know, because they're like, maybe we made a mistake. First of all, maybe we should look harder and we should give him the win if he's that good, you know? So I think short goal, he hates it, I'm sure, you know? But long goal, I think this is actually a good thing, you know? He don't want to hear that shit. I told him last night too, but still, that's what I think, you know? So anybody can see that?
Go look at Alexis. She just posted something.
Uh-oh. That's wifey?
Yeah, and then scroll through it, and then look at Martin in those pictures. That's before the carbo.
It's Alexis what? I think I follow her.
Alexis _ Nicole.
Wait, what? What's the first thing you said?
The THE _ Alexis _ Nicole.
Bro, I'm not getting it. Let me share the page. You said D _ Alexis?
The THE.
The.
Oh, I thought he said the letter D. I'm slow, man.
_ Alexis. It ain't on there.
She blocked me.
Hey.
_
I thought I followed her.
Nicole.
It should have come up by now.
Yeah, for sure.
This it? No.
You bro.
I'm gonna go to Martin. Is Martin tagged?
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. Boom. She posted on her page, right?
Yeah. Right there.
Which one is?
Yeah, click on it and scroll over.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep going. You'll see it right there.
Yo, look at his quad sweep, bro. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. But you see how much harder he is right here? They just spilled.
Yeah, went a little too hard on the food.
Justin, if you had to choose, especially for Martin's physique, not just anybody, if you had to choose going on the fuller side or the flatter side, which would you choose?
Bro, Martin's gonna be round regardless if he's flat. He never looks flat.
Exactly my point. You know, when he used to share more of the pictures coming into the show, and he would be like, "Oh man, I'm flat. Shit, everything hurts."
Like,
and I'm looking at him.
Flat where?
I'll be looking at him. I'm like, first of all, your carbs is at 500, and you don't look flat to me, motherfucker. So like, I don't know. Sometimes you make the wrong call. It happens, and I feel like Boss just really overdid the carb process this time. But he's usually on point, so I think everybody has some.
We're literally critiquing the fourth best bodybuilder in the world right now.
The best of the best, yeah.
I guess fifth now.
Come on, man. Brady did Brady did
fifth, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he got fourth, right? Something.
I think he got fifth. I don't know. Oh, you might be right. He might have got fourth.
But I mean, that was a good lineup, bro. I personally thought he should have been third.
Hold on, stop. We got the classic guy over here. We got to ask him.
Oh, yeah. Jay, do you know what place he got?
I think he got fourth, actually.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, he hasn't made any posts yet. But I saw this. I was like, I didn't realize he was that peeled because I've been following him through the thing, and I'm like, I mean, but he does have to make weight. So however he made weight, he's gonna get even more peeled, right? Those last couple of days. But this was a good look, man. Bro, structurally, he was so much bigger than everybody, bro. Like Brady is. I didn't realize he would, because next to the open guys with the classic, it's a big difference. And then next to the classic guys, he looked fucking huge because his fucking frame is crazy.
Yeah.
I need more content.
His lats are crazy, man. Like, he's super wide up top.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So standing next to the other guy, I was like, yo, Brady is a lot bigger than these guys. And even that guy that got second, Jose, I think. Jose. Yeah, he's a big guy, and he was a bodybuilder as well. Mm-hmm. And he was big. He was bigger than him.
You think they got that right, Jay?
I think it could have gone both ways, because there was a point where at prejudging, I just thought you can't overlook that type of freaky inside-out condition and density and hardness from, like, it was like a different level of freak factor that Hosema brought. And it's not like he's not classic. Like, he's still got a classic-y structure, but I do understand he's got a little bit more if you're going to compare, like, Ruff's structure, which I think, flows a lot better. It does have a lot more of a classic flowy structure, for sure. Top to bottom, he's a little bit more symmetrical. He's got some bubblier quads too, which I think was a huge reason why he topped.
The quads is what separated him.
100%. I think Hosema had the detail. He was peeled out of his freaking mind. Like, they were even commenting that they haven't seen anybody this peeled in their life. So he was stupid peeled.
Yeah.
This is fucking conditioned. Okay, so Jay, I think that's 100% correct, and I think we all can say, well, Terrence is more classic, right? Yeah. Here's the thing, though.
What is classic?
Exactly, and Tyler himself said that this is not a thing. You can't quantify classic.
Yeah.
Whoever's the best wins. That's it. And like you said, if you're just talking about, okay, he had the small waist. So we're going to say aesthetics, they're not classic. He had a small waist. He had a better V taper than Terrence. Shoulder to waist ratio is actually better than Terrence, right? So if we talk about aesthetics, he's just as aesthetic technically. If we're just talking about not classic aesthetics, just by V taper, right? He doesn't have the X frame, but he has the V taper, right? So if you can't define classic and the judges aren't judging a classic term,
His shoulders right there.
right? So if
That's
we're
right.
going by the rules they said, which is basically is bodybuilding with a weight class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously your waist has to be good. So by that criteria, technically, then he wins.
Mhm.
But we don't have a problem with Terrence winning because I think we all feel that Terrence has a better suited look for classic. It's just that if you tell us that's not a thing, then we kind of gonna be like, well, if it's not a thing, then this guy wins.
Some people were like, what did you say his name was? Josiah or something like that?
Oh, Sema.
He's Josema Beast.
Josema-
But what's his
Josema.
actual?
They were trying to say that like Terrence was like out of shape. Terrence was not out of shape. He just
No.
very, very dark complected. You can't really see that much.
Exactly. Plus, he's standing next to the most peeled guy in the division.
Yeah. If
Yes.
Josiah wasn't standing there, you would have been like, oh my God, Terrence is the most conditioned person in the whole show.
Terrence was peeled, man.
Yeah.
Did you see his fucking videos? Fucking like a couple days out.
Like,
Yeah.
He was inside out.
Yeah.
There's just unfortunately there's so many levels to peeled where you could be inside out and somebody could somehow be more inside out than you, which that's hard to come by. But he actually met somebody who was more peeled than him, which is kind of insane. But so his name is Jose Manuel, so I guess he's doing Jose and an MA for Manuel, which makes sense because I'm like, I've never what the fuck is the Jose man? You know, but but that makes more sense. But now, forever, his name is going to be Josema. Nobody's going to call him Jose because you're not going to know who because you're not going to know who we're talking about. There's probably 100 Jose's, you know.
And
so
I just
No way,
thought,
Jose.
I just thought too, like, you know, like you were saying, like, you know, I'm in classic and I still, like, I agree 100% with what y'all are saying. Like, it's just the best bodybuilder that fits that weight cap on that day.
Yep.
You know, I don't really see a difference. Now, if you got, you know, a dude that has like a giant waist and he's just, you know, then you got to do with the better X frame and a V shape next to him.
exactly.
I would probably give it to that. But like, that's where I could have seen Josema taking it. Like, with the way they've been judging shows this year with Classic, I mean, I could have seen Josema taking it and wouldn't have had a problem with it because he's overall bigger. He just has a bigger structure and a frame, and he was peeled to the bone. And, you know, there were shots where he beat Terrence, and kind of just the stature was there. You know what I mean? So he made a lot of the guys look smaller. So I think it could have gone both ways, but I think like what Justin was saying, those flowy quads and the sweeping quads from Terrence, I think that was the decision maker for this show.
If he would have had bit more sweep to his quads, which he poses very well to hide the not so much sweep that he has.
Yeah.
If he would have had more sweep, he could have won easily. And I think Terrence is one of the best there is. Period. And I still could have said Jose could have won.
Yeah, I think it could have gone both ways.
Whenever you can make peeled guys look off, because I've heard people say, "Oh, this wasn't Terrence's best condition." I actually think it possibly was. At least the pictures I've seen leading up to the show, it looked like by far his best condition. So I'm assuming it was his best condition, but he made him look like an off version condition, which wasn't the case. That's the next level that very few people can do.
And he's one of the guys, like he's squeezing into that weight cap too.
Yeah,
like I don't think he has a lot. Yeah, I don't think he has a lot of room at all. Like,
yeah,
for him to grow his quads,
Terrence still has more room.
Yeah, and like Terrence is a big dude too. So, you know, for him to make Terrence look a little bit smaller, obviously it's a frame thing and a height thing too that you got to play into it. But for him to make Terrence look small, you know, he's a big dude. Again, he came from open, so he's got that kind of, you know, frame and that kind of width to him. So
I don't know. I would say big dude, but a muscular dude.
Yeah, muscular.
Do you
Yeah,
think that this was the best Terrence yet?
I did off stage. In all the lead-in pictures and videos I've seen, I thought it was going to be the best by far because he looked
But you
bigger.
also have to take into account different lightings at different shows.
Mhm.
That could be it.
I grew up with Terrence, so I've seen him since he was an amateur, and I just felt like, yeah, he's known for his striated glutes, his Ronnie Coleman looking glutes, but like his back looked, I don't want to say downsized, but his back didn't look as good as it has
I agree.
before.
See, I did notice that, but you know what I chalked it up to? That Jose, I'm gonna call him Jose now. Jose and Brady had fucking insane fucking backs. So in my head, I'm like, does it look downsized just because their backs are? Did you see Jose's back? It's like
It's
I don't
huge.
think
It's ridiculous.
But Terrence has had a huge back.
No, Terrence never had a huge bag.
Not like huge, but like bigger than what it was yesterday.
See, I've always felt like he had a one of the most complete backs, but like he's not a big person, you know. So like his back never looked like crazy dense to me, but separated and put together beautifully is what I would say. You know, let me see if I could actually find one. So
Well,
it's like
he was posing his back differently too this show though.
Yeah, and it's like what I'm used to seeing wasn't seen yesterday. I know Terrence like that, and maybe he's put more emphasis on his arms and
He
less
has.
on
He's
his
been
back.
training arms like every damn day.
Yeah, but maybe it's like less emphasis on his back, and that's where it kind of lacked.
yeah, possibly. Granted, even though I've always liked his back double, like how his back looks in the back double, I don't actually like how he poses it, even though he's the best poser. I don't think he poses his back the best way for his back, if I'm being honest.
Like,
So
yeah, something's lacking there.
yeah,
You
because
think
I was
he
gonna
will
say
flat or no?
I think he's pulling back and down, and he's losing some width.
You know that one guy told him to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know what his name is. A little kid that
The posing coach, right?
What?
Yeah, what is his name?
I think it's like Colin Brannigan or something like that, or
not the
CB,
kid.
CB
Yes,
posing.
the kid.
CB posing.
Oh,
The
Yes.
kid told him how to pose.
He's posing. He's his posing coach.
what?
Yes.
Yeah, he
What
let
the
him.
fuck?
He let him
Tell
pose
me
him the
you're
whole
joking.
way.
Tell me you're joking. There's no way.
No, you go
No,
watch.
I
his
swear to
video.
God, yeah.
And he changed his.
I'm not
back
gonna believe that.
pose.
I already know who
I'm
you're
not.
talking about.
I'm not gonna
He's
believe
got
that.
he's got like a ponytail and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that.
kid
on
with the
Instagram.
little man bun.
Yeah.
I'm.
Holy fuck, dude! Like the posing. I'm not gonna go on a rant.
Well, I think 'cause he's
I'm
that kid is like I don't know if he's affiliated with Terrence's coaching thing. Like I think Terrence sends people to pose to him through like some of his clients.
Yeah.
So I think, and then I know like at least halfway through the prep, he made a whole video saying that he got with him for posing, and he changed up. He let him take over all of his poses.
Yep. They changed his back pose. That was like the number one pose they changed.
Yeah,
Oh.
because he used to pull down into it, like
I
a
need to
pull
go
down,
back
and then
to
he'd
what he was
open up.
doing before.
Yeah, it definitely looks different.
I'm gonna hope he's just doing that for business reasons because I don't think that should be the case. But what I will say is that this not to give him credit, but I used to see Terrence back pose, and I used to think I used to think it would look better if he didn't open up as much, if he kind of crunched it in a little bit more, because he would open it up so much, and I thought it would look better like this. But then him actually doing it, I don't think it does. Because I remember he would open his elbows more and his back would be like more like an open surface instead of kind of bunched up. But I think because he's not a wide guy, it looks more bunchy like this. So let's say if his posing coach told him to do that, I can see why he did, because in your head I could see why you would think it would be better. But once you see it, then you be like, that happens to me with clients. I'm like, you know what, try it like this, and they try it, and I'm like, yeah, just go back to how you was doing it before. We're not gonna change it, because sometimes it seems like the right move, and then you're like, no, that's not it. You're right. Do your thing, So that may have been the issue, because I actually don't think it looks better like that, if I'm being honest.
Well, you see a lot of dudes like And I've been on this posing coach's page and stuff just to see what he put out after Terrence, was saying that that's his posing coach. And you'll see a lot of guys do it now too, is like they'll go into the crucifix, like really open their lats up into a crucifix pose from the back, and then they'll set. But when they're set there through the crucifix, especially like when you're really open and you're a wide dude, you can just hit your arms back, crank back, and you're good. But they kind of teach like open it and then drop the elbows real hard. And that's why these guys are like, you'll see a lot of backs look all scrunched up. It's because they're dropping
they're trying to mimic C-bomb, because C-bomb kind of pulls down and back.
Yeah, but it works for him. You know what I mean? Not everybody can hit it like that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I feel like when you're like a young posing coach like that, you're set in your ways and like you're like, oh, this works for me or it works for one guy, and then you literally tell every single one of your people to do it. Where, especially in classic, you have to pose to your physique. I feel like that's what classic is to me.
Because like you'll even see Osema, the guy that got second to Ruff. If you go back to like his first debut classic shows, he opens up like that. He'll do a crucifix, open up, and then he'll hit it, and then he'll crank back hard, and he would just scrunch his back up like crazy. And then now he I guess he changed it because he talked about it like in a video about like Tyler kind of changing his back pose a little bit. And he just kind of like, he would squeeze back his erectors, the Christmas tree, flex the triceps, and then just open up and hit it. And his back was, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So even when he scrunched, it wasn't like he was losing ground. But you can tell, like, when guys pinch like that, even like Osema, who has a great back, it still takes away a little bit. You know what I mean? When you're so wide like that.
No, nobody should be trying to pose like the next person. It doesn't work. You got to pose for your physique. I think if you actually have a huge back, like Osema, the less is better. Almost just like anytime I have a client with a crazy back, I almost have them just lift your arms up and that's it. Because when they start doing shit and sucking this in and doing the flexion, I'm like, stop flexing your abs. Don't lean so far back. Your back is huge. Especially, people who are backs are huge just standing there. They don't they go like this. They're just standing and the back is huge. Just stand. Stand with your arms up because your back is that crazy. If you're missing lower back or you're missing this or that, you're going to have to find your angles. You're going to have to find your sweet spot and try to make that look big. We see Roman do it. He had no erectors. He can deadlift a bunch of weight. It's not going to grow. At that point, you've been doing heavy back stuff for decades. So at this point, find a pose that works for you. So I'm going to do it like a lat spread. So he does a lat spread, lifts his arms up, and his back looks thicker. That could go horribly wrong. I've tried that, and it looked ugly. It was horrible. So, you find your sweet spot, stick to it. Don't try to pose like C-bomb.
Yeah, and like you said, like I think it's like I'm victim to it a lot. Like even in Detroit, like from the front and then from the back, like a rear relax, I have a pretty wide back. It's not nothing ridiculous, but it's there. You know what I mean? I just have the lats like that. And then when I go into a back pose, that's my weaker shot. So in Detroit during prejudging especially, I was scrunching a lot because I was just overthinking it like crazy. That's one of the poses that I overthink it, and then it just comes out not the way that I want it. And then it's like when I'm just doing check-ins in the morning and I'm tired of shit, and I'm just like, I'm not going to do all this crazy shit. I'm just going to get into it, hit the pose, click my button, and then send it to my coach. And that's when my back would look the best, when I just open up and hit it. So I think like the overthinking thing is a real thing too for a lot of guys.
100%. Now, anytime you overthink a pose, it shows. It shows. This is also why if you have a client and you're 2 weeks out, let's say, don't try to teach him a new way to pose at 2 weeks out. It's too late, right? Let him do this thing. You can make minor tweaks, a little bit of this, but you give him 100 million cues 2 weeks out, you just ruin his posing because now he's thinking instead of posing, and that'll fuck you up.
I'm gonna go hire a posing coach.
hire that kid.
Some people that old dude with the gray hair.
Some people actually need it. Like I'll say Crizzo and Vito, they could look so much better. So much better. All right. One last thing.
I'm about to hop off and.
All right, but dude. Thanks for coming on, Justin.
All right, I'll see y'all later. Y'all take
Bye,
it easy.
Justin.
All right, bye.
See you, bro.
See you, man.
So, they said they wanted shorter shorts, and this dude showing hammies, bro. My guy's showing hammies out here. But it got to be uniform then, because if he's doing it, then everybody got to do it. But Aaron Banks had on the 90s beach shorts, and I'm like,
He just got his trunks pulled up. Look how baggy they are in the ass.
Oh, you're right. He just pulled it up.
Yeah, he just pulled his shit up.
I thought he got like a special cut version, but I think he pulled one up higher than he pulled the right one higher than the left.
It honestly would look better if he pulled him down.
Wait. My guy just hit a abs and thighs most muscular. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is going on? I've been seeing their posing, and it's getting wild. I saw Aaron hit a back double, and I'm like, I don't know what he's because usually you know how they fake it. They usually go like this. They go like this, and then they just leave their arms. They'll fake it, but I thought he was gonna fake it, and then he hit it. I said, "What the fuck? Is that allowed?" Oh, he had a lat spread. See, at this point, let's just have them, or let's just have them pose. But then that becomes classic, you know.
But even the judges all the time, they say like, we don't care to see all this. Just you have two poses, get in it, and that's it. They
say that all the time, and the more they say it, the more people
crazy.
The crazier they get. They're doing people are doing anime symbols, and I'm like, God damn! Like Steve used to say it all the time. Men's physique, we want to see front and back pose. That's it. And then of course they go out there and give him a whole fucking thing.
Because you would think when they do their individual routine, you walk out, front pose, turn to the back, front pose, and get off, and their routines are lasting the same as classic now. Like it's crazy.
I'm waiting for somebody to hit a fucking twisting back Arnold pose. My guy hit a most muscular ab and thighs. That's wild. This is crazy. I gotta be honest with you. How does this guy win? I don't find him. I don't find him that impressive.
There's like nothing that's a wow factor.
He's by far the least muscular person in all the lineups. And it's like, oh well, you have a small waist. Yeah, but everything is small. So how that's not a flex. What this guy got fourth. The one I just showed, I forgot his name. Sorry,
Brandon.
Brandon got fourth, and then he gets first. Like how? By what metrics is this?
Because he rocked the beard. He came in with the full beard this time.
The beard was lined up too. I'm not gonna lie. The beard was on point. Oh, see, look, he hit the back double. You saw that?
Yeah.
He looked like he was gonna fake it, and he said, "Nah." And then he hit the back double. But when I see this guy, I don't see it. And then, with all due respect, his personality is pretty annoying. If I'm being honest, that has nothing to do with his physique, but it's kind of annoying. I think there's a way to trash talk and a way to get people going, but the way he does it just seems not.
Did he call out Ali after the award?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and in the way he said it, he doesn't know his reason for putting out shows because it was like he had like personal reasons. What if this is a serious fucking family issue or something, and he like kind of cracks on him about it? Like,
well, I'll say this on play devil's advocate. Ali was at the show, so you pulled out of a show that you went to.
Yeah, but what if his creatinine was at 8? What if he was at 8.5 creatinine? He's like, damn. Okay, let me sit this one out. Like I don't know. I'm sure he's probably fine because if it's something tragic, he probably wouldn't have been there. But it is what it is. I mean, if this is his real personality, then he should be him at the end of the day, right? I could always expect you being yourself, but it's a little annoying if I'm being honest. So, whereas Hendrickson is the opposite. He's like I don't think he's faking it neither. I think he's really just like a chill guy. You know, he just seemed like a chill guy. You know, which is but I don't know why he wins. Maybe I just don't understand men's physique. I'm sorry.
I don't understand it. Like that dude right there in the middle looks the best to me.
I thought he was gonna win too.
Is it because we're bodybuilders?
No, it's because look at him.
He just stands out like crazy.
Abs, arms, delts, pecs.
I personally think he's winning this by far. I don't even think it's close. But what I'm saying is it because we like the muscle bellies? Because we like bodybuilders? Because I don't know how men's physique guys feel about this. Because some of them don't want them to be this muscular.
I feel like this is more comparable to Ali.
100%.
To me, Ali should be beating everybody. I think Ali's physique is insane. This guy too, though. But
this guy looks very similar, like similar proportions.
He does. Me personally, these would be the physiques I would have winning. Ali, him. I like Brandon's too, actually. But Ali is insane. I think that guy's physique is crazy. You know, so maybe we're biased because they have the round muscle bellies. That looks good. All right. I don't think we'll do questions today. I'm kind of hungry, kind of tired. So I'm sure Alyssa is too. She's in prep. Jay, you in prep or you off season?
We kind of just caught this little rebound after Detroit, and then I'm kind of just maintaining a little bit, doing a little bit of like kind of a holding cleanup phase, and then if everything goes well, try to take some of that feedback that I got from Detroit. We're probably going to aim for something in September to try to qualify for 2026 Olympia, to have another long, break to grow a little bit more into that Olympia, God willing. So we'll see what happens.
Fire. What did the judges tell you they want to see from me?
So when we spoke to Bill, because he was the head judge there, so I got pretty much everybody at that show got heighted above what their normal heights are. So I'm usually a little bit below 5'9", so my cap would be 204. So I weighed in at 200 with clothes on and stuff like that. So I was still a little bit under 204. And then I got above 5'9", which is 212 now. So I guess them hearing about that and seeing that at weigh-ins, from what Bill told me, he said the structure, the physique, the flow of my physique, and then the symmetry, top to bottom, is pretty much what they want to see from Classic and from me. And that I brought up some of the weaker points that they've seen from me the year before. And that condition was there, the peak was there, all that kind of good stuff. Musculator was there. They told me to chill out on my quads, so I can't really train quads like crazy right now. So
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's not bad. So that was one of the other feedbacks. But other than that, he just said, I'm young, I'm 25. So they said everything's there. They just want more. So they want me to fill out that 212 cap now that it's locked in apparently.
Okay. Oh, did they start doing the locked in stuff? They said they're gonna start.
That's what we heard. So we're banking on that, because that would suck if I pull up at 210 or something and I got to drop down to 204 in an hour or something. But I don't think we're not going to be that heavy for this next show, because I work with Justin Jacoby, so we're still heavy on conditioning and being peeled as fuck. So that's always the priority.
I always found that silly as fuck. Why would you need to measure somebody's height every show?
I don't know.
you guys aren't 17. Motherfuckers aren't growing. You're not growing from season to season. Why would you need to do that? That's the fact that you have to be thinking, oh my God, am I gonna make the right weight? That's added stress that you shouldn't have to factor in. You just shouldn't have to factor that in.
Hey, by the way, my phone's at 1, so if it dies, I didn't just leave. It just died.
I bet. Well, we're gonna lock off anyways. So
okay.
Thanks for coming on, Jay. Alyssa, thanks as always. Thanks for coming on. I know you're tired, but I appreciate your input. You know.
I'll see you in the group chat.
I see you there.